For me, it's contagious. If I see something, I will notice something. How do I know? Because when I do notice something, that is when the time I see it. I would not have seen it, but it would have been a fly-by-night flash from one moment to the next, what I see now and what I see after. What I reflect. And if I have a pen in my hand, I want to write it down. Am I sick? What is it sick? Because I have a passion? That I want to know what everything means? I want to understand the focus and can I say the fraternization of every element on this planet? Because I want to know why we can't go somewhere and why we could go somewhere. Oh, we can't go there because it's the women's washroom. Well, that doesn't mean anything if I'm the only one around and it says women's washroom. And everybody else, I'm the only one on the island, it says women's washroom. And I'm the only one on the island, I'm going into the washroom. Woman doesn't mean anything to me. There's no one there. Even if there were two people there, I'm going into any of the washroom. The respect is the separation of the fact. We are different. We made it a big exciting thing. Oh, let's get excited. There's a naked woman. Big deal. Oh my God. And this world right now, okay, I'm so sucked into it. Here's your baseball. Don't you see? Don't you see? Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube. Here's your 11. Here's your band. If you ever go look at the jacks and the cards, there's a band on this, okay? And it looks like this. It looks like it goes over just like this, one side to the other. And it's like holding suspenders. But when it does look like that, it ends up looking like an H. If you misrepresent it and it's really close, it looks like an X. I wanted to show you something from my last box before I move on. Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, a lot of fun. Jen, I keep losing that stuff on Excel, and I don't know why it keeps stopping and going, and it's frustrating. I wish I can see a big screen so I get, you know what I'm saying? I vision. When I see numbers, I go, ah, yeah. And like I'm making this all up. But as I learned where the numbers came from and where they can go, and they match, then it tells a scenario here. But whatever I say can only give you a piece of what that bar looks like, what that area. You can listen and see and watch and say, is that what he sees? I don't see the same. This is what I see and why. But anyways, my video shut down before. This is an I. I made the shortest I can possibly make between two numbers, and it looked like this. In order to make my H, okay, I'm going to show you something. Hold on. Okay, here's my I. That was the shortest I can make, but the only way to make an H, okay, the only way to make an H is like this. That's the only way. You see the way I holds on to two sticks? But I, instead of being I, it became a V, because I is 9, V is 5. 5, 5, and 5 become the actual equation when it holds the sticks. So if you want, you can just crisscross your I in each house. Now you have two houses, and each one going 9, 10, 11, 9, 10, 11. 30, 30 is 60. And then you turn it this way. They live sea. They live by the sea. That's the way it is. Why? Because there's two stories. One is above the 10, and one is below the 10, and one is on top of the 10. So they live above the seas. This is the bed, man's bed. H and I, this is 17. This is A and G. You live in between. But if you live in between, you must only be 6, because 5 is the electronic piping. 4 is the electronic world, the delta, your mind. But your mind and your body, you get the Venus body, you live as 6. This here is, you see this here? This is two letters of the same design, Z and X. Z and X do this. They show 10. At the same time, if I put a crown on this, okay, it looks like an 8 over here. But you see the D Two D's face to face looks like two doors. And then this is a V over here. This is the V over here. You can have an X. You can count this for so much. But we're going to only count it for the two letters of Z and N. 14, which equals 9, and 26, which equals 8. 9 and 8 from H and Z, okay, are both the 8 letters. 8 and 8, 2 and 6, 8. This one, 40, plus we see an X, okay? 40 plus 24. 40 plus 24 is 64. Plus the O that goes around 15 equals to 79. Creation of 666, the strikes. That's the way it works. Now, if you add on Roman numerals to this, okay, you would have to add on 10, 9, excuse me, you would have to add on 9 and 11, because 9 and 11, the two sides of the two sticks. 9, 10, 11 would be 30. So 74 would be, is that what I said, 74? 64. 64 plus, let me do it all over again. 40, 64. 64 plus O is 79. Plus we had the Roman numeral. What were you doing? 10. 79 would be 89. Oh, but it was 9, 10, 11. 99, 109. This equals to 109. There are 3 of 109s. If this equals to 109, and I hope I'm right, there are 3 109s. Excuse me. There's a 109, and there's a 609, and then there's an 809, okay, which actually is an 899 and 699. But what these are is because in the French language, they treat 10 and 9 as something different. 10 and 9 is actually, 10 and 9 is 3 and 4 create the connection of the moon. Because you're on the moon with your spirit connection, you are 3 and 4, 3 of this prism that we have in our head of Earth, and the sandbox of Mars, where the electronics connect up to the moon, okay, somehow, and they're distorting our message. And we can also be going into the ground, because the sandbox of Mars is the Earth we walk on, okay, from within the bodies we are. As far as I know, Saturn must own the whole thing, okay, but the electronics come from Jupiter, transferred over, I believe, into a Saturn area, and Jupiter is always home free. Jupiter is number 5 planet, it's in the middle. We might be just living inside, apart near Jupiter, in between Jupiter and Saturn right now. We might be in between this big bubble, or this big football that's holding us. So we're 109, so it becomes 19, 19, it becomes 79, 79, or 99, 99, that these 109 exists. Why? Because after you do 60, you automatically say 10, which means 70. And then you say 9. Well, the 0 over here in this position says that I will be 179. I will be 199. But 169 is the size of the Monopoly board for every single square in it. This is the 5 orange and the 13 orange, 8 balls apart, totaling 18, 16, 8, 6, 6 and 6 is 18, 5 and 13th letter is 18th letter R, 1 and 8 is A and H. It's the Omega heaven, AH. Me is RR and R, because it's the orange sun. It says me go, I am the boy. 7th gate of the one light. 1 and 6 equals to that 7th gate, man 6. But it's a 7th gate of 2 reasons. Because you have 2 gateways within inside of you. One that is out here and one that is in here. You're connected to a source somewhere in the body. You're number 22. Have you ever seen, I don't know if I have it on me. I'm going to take a quick look. You want to get your eyes checked? I did this one already. You want to get your eyes checked? I don't know really much about it. I haven't did much, but I did write it all down. Okay? 7, 5, 3, 6, 4. 3, 6, 5, 4. 3, 6, 3, 7, 5, 4. 20, 15, dog pound. 6, 1, 6, 13, 13. 6, 1, 6. 1 times 6, 1 plus 6 is the spirit of 76, equals to the 55. This equals here to 555, right here. Why? Because 16, 6, 1, 6. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 and 6 is 13. 7 and 6 is 13. That's across the street from me. That's 26. That's the dog pound you are in. Then when you repeat this, it turns into the T. The T returns to the Z. The Z returns to the T, turns to the Z. The T is the 20th letter. 2, O, O. O is in the center, is the 15th letter. 1 and 5 is 6. The center, the ace, is located right over here. So what would now be up here in the center? What are we using? Tic-tac-toe? Are we playing something else? Where does this A go? 1, 2, third row. 1, 2, third row. 1, 2 in. 1, 2 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's number 5. P, O, pop. 7, 6, 7. P, E, or P-O-E. P, just back around again. Pope. So, what's in our vision? Let me see what else I have here. There's just so... Oh, I just dropped the dice on the floor. There was something about Scott Baio, right? But now that I think of Scott Baio, I got to think of Barack Obama. Remember, Grover Cleveland, 20, listen, 17, okay, is the first move in the piano. 1 and 7. Go back 1, A is next to G. Okay? Remember that in the piano, in the last video I mentioned, number 23 is not the center C, but it's the beginning. Creation of BC is when B touches C, and B has already touched G. Now B and C will now create G and move to the 7th gate, 2, 3, and 7. Makes 11 and 7. The reverse of 11 and 7 is 1 and 2 equals 3 and 7. So that means the creation of man goes through the 7th gate. Now I'm assuming it's between his 2 ears, because we're just the corn, the ear of the corn somehow. What was I talking about? The nav could be the navigator. Jamaica, baseball. Everybody knows I and I is 27 outs. H and H and H is 24 outs. And OO is 30 outs, and it's in the 5th inning, and it's raining cats and dogs. Number 17, excuse me, cats and dogs. Listen to this. Number 22 says life. It says Grover Cleveland. Number 24 says man within the heavens of Neptune, within his head, and within his body 6, living with the electronics of the B world of Jupiter. 22, 24 is the cat. 26 is the dog. 28 is the menstruation cycle and the moon, and MAN for man, and there's man in every woman. 30 is the creation party, in which creates 30 recreates the angel 6 of 6, 6, and 6, which is the cunning fox because of the way he's tapered up within his mind. 1, 2, 3 equals 6. 1 times 2 times 3 equals 6. That equals the F and F letter. The next level is 4, 5, 6 equaling to 15, equal to the O letter. Multiplied and added to 5 and 6 equals to 11 to the K letter. When your E's are now, the K is actually an E, 1 on each side, which splits. It's drawn with a V on it. V and 1 make 6. They put a line this way and this way through man, crisscrossing his 2 energies of spirit, life, and his body, however it works. I still have to work on that one. And now you're living. You add the K, so 4, 5, and 6 is 15 O. 1 plus 5 is 6. 7, 8, 9 in the 3rd row, G, H, and I. And it's together on the typewriter. G, H, and I. See? G, H, and I. So when you do that, it's 7, 8, and 9. 7, 8, and 9 equals 24x. It says FOX. 24, 2 plus 4, that's 6. We got 6, 6, 6. 2 times 4 is your 8. Your 8 of your Neptune. Your Grey Cup and your Grey Cup held in a supper bowl. What was I thinking of next? I'm just going over the same thing. I'm just going over the same thing, the same thing. Even on the dartboard. Even on the dartboard. You can get triple 19s for 57. That's the moon. One of the moons is 19 in your head. The other moon, the S and S, is the moon in the sky. Do you know how they do that moon? That's the real make of the moon. It's also a bird. It also looks like someone running, and it looks like the penguin. It's the swastika. They're showing, okay, that they're stealing our information to the moon. This is a 4 and this is an L if you really want to look at it. The swastika's with a C on it also. It also shows the horseshoe. So I'd have to look into it to really understand it. But when you play darts, they don't have one. You need something that says 75. You have 57. Can you get 75? Yes, you can throw 3 darts. 1 dart in the red, 1 dart in the green. 75. 1 dart in the 19. You use 3 darts. Took you 3 darts for creation. 50 was the passage in the NFL, right here in the red. 75 was the green. Anywhere in between this green, you get life. 19 is for the moon. 3 times 4, 3 plus 4 equals 12 and 7, 19. 1 and 2, 1 times 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 5. 1 and 2 recreate 5 again. It's from the alpha beta. Inside of us, we create our own light. God may give us everything, but the body has to create its own light, its energy. So this is how you get your 57, 75. 1 dart in the 19, 1 dart in the red, 1 in the green. You've got green and red. We must watch out for the Vikings. Vikings, Minnesota Vikings, they also have Mayflower ships that look like Viking ships on it, because it seemed like they were Vikings. They were these ships that went into the skies, and you can never drown, you can just fall overboard. And when man goes overboard, he has to fall and fall until he hits the next part of land, and that's where he ends up living. So it's like, you understand what I'm saying? They're flying in the air just like this, and somebody falls over. He just falls. And eventually he's going to hit an island, and that's where he ends up making life as part of that. But it's not the same kind of ships, I'm assuming. 7 days a week, 168 hours. 6 times 28 moons. So it would take, in all actuality, right, in order to make 12 moons a year and come out to 336, okay, you would take 376 hours to actually do it. I'm going to show you what I mean. These two together, 6 times 28 is 168 hours, okay? 2 times 168 is 336. Okay, this would make 12 moons in the year. So we have to figure out, because it works over here, we have to understand, because it shows us our 12 moons, what would it otherwise mean? If I said it was 13, what would it mean in this area? Because I used 1, 6, and 8. 1, 6, and 8 is the cat. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4. So the electronic, the voltage, must be based on the cat. Where is the cat in electronics? What color do they represent? And what do they represent with the black cat? That's why the black cat might be unlucky, because it might distort our electronics. Another thing I wanted to say is that when I started my work, the 7286, it brought 5291. If you really, no, 52, 2015. I'd have to go 71 now. 52, 71. If 71 was over here, we'd be 7 and 8. This would be, if I would understand what I'm saying, this coming year, okay, 10 years later, let's make this 2015, this would be 5291. 5271. Difference from here. And the reason for that is there's a chance, right, that this 2005 may have actually been 1995. Something else, but not this. Irregardless, this says Earth, this number, and this says Venus. But if it was 71, it would say Mercury and Uranus, and that's on one side, and that means coming home. And this is 10 years later, and it says coming home, 5271. Because 5, 1, and 2 is the memory in the 8th world. But now that we come back to the 7th gate, Mercury has come to the 7th gate. It's now the silver spirit. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 is 7 and 8, 15. You came back to the AE world. You came back to the first world. We meet next year. That's what this shows. I didn't want to write anything about the nav, but if he was navigating and it was Titanic, well, I guess it was all on purpose. Anyways, there's a few things that I did not do. And I'm going to shut the video off. You see inside of here, looks like the number 1. It's the number 5 and 7 next to each other. See this over here? It's 70, but it's actually RO. Now, if you really want to make this properly, I don't think it should be the O. Okay? I think it should be RD, but then the legs would be shorter. You understand, with the legs taking up 2 levels, because it's always on square paper, or otherwise it's a D, which means queen, and it's a 7 and a queen, which is a total of 24, or in the deck of cards, the queen is 12th, and this is 7 is 19. You've got the moon, and that's what you look. When the 7th gate is your legs maybe, or your hips, carry up your moon on your shoulders. The letter F, did you ever see this F? If I make the continuation A, I can make the A on this, and on one side have the F, and the other side have the... See what happened to it? Now it's a 7, this side it's an F, it's an A. 7AF. M and N, okay, this is your Rubik's Cube. There's 4 of these in a row. Okay, there's 4 13s in a row, and then there's 2 of them. This is the center to 6 of these. 6 times 14 is 84. That's about space. That's this year. Something to do space, and it could be under the ground. I didn't say where the space is coming from. I see London bridges falling down, where all the bridges fall down. I heard again, Camden Yards, Camden Yards, Camden Yards. I got to connect Philadelphia. I know, Mercer, Mighty, I know you're good at that. What is it about Camden Yards and the word Candlestick Park, C-A-C-A? What is it, to light up the AC power? What is it, California, L-A? What is it about 3 and 1? 3 and 1 is how it all began. A and B was nothing. A went to B, that's it. But they did nothing. A and B, 1 and 2. Well, when I went to the bathroom yesterday, first I did a 1, then I did a 2. When I was done, I had a flush. Because 1 went in 2. I guess I had a full house. No, I had a flush. Both from the brown world. The air you breathe is a story all in its own. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. I just wanted to show one little piece. This is a 2 and a 5. This is me go, which I said before. This 135 says ace. If you count all the way up to the queen, it'll say 153. And if you count all the way up to the Z, it'll say 351. If you take off all the vowels, it'll say 51. If you write down, I'm first, second, third, fifth. Why do you say ETH for fifth or fourth? Because fourth comes with the electricity. So it's electronic time heaven. Delta is an electronic. You have to think electronically. The earth only knows how to recycle itself. Oh, I'm growing or I'm not growing. They have to give me the right ingredients to grow. So, what did I say? The 3, the 1, the 2, the 1 and the 2, the 1 and the 2, the earth. Yes, the earth. Mars, the spirit. Me go. Number 1, 3, and 5. 5, 1, and 2 megabytes. 5, 1, and 2. 5, 1, and 2 MB. Well, A and E, same thing. Because A, B, C, D, E. C is in the middle. G goes with C. Megagod. Megagod. That's what it says to me. This is the beginning of how it all began. I don't really know. There was something I wanted to say and I don't remember. 2 and 5. Oh, maybe I'll just show you this. Has anybody ever seen a castle? Has anybody ever seen Reboot? Here's 2 and 5. 5 and 2. 5-2 TV. 33 TV. Made up by 52 Earth, 25, 1/4 of Jack. And there's more ways to do this. There's a lot more stuff that I did not do. Monopoly, Albert Einstein. This. See this? Goes in between these two, and it branches the two sides together. This molds to these two sides. Call it your nose. You have one heaven here, the 10 Commandments. 2, 5, and 8 go right in between. But this takes up half of the center, and this takes up the other half of the center. But if there's something in here, and something in here, this takes up everything, this takes up everything, and this only passage is a processor. Nothing more than combining the two of them together. Las Vegas, Las Vegas, Las Vegas, LV, I'm seeing it everywhere. Here's your two worlds. Here's your two world on the left. Here's your two world on the right. Here's the one below. Here's the one to the left of you. Here's the one to the right of you. How will we determine their numbers? That's to come in another video. Raphael, thank you for watching.